Having an unemployed loser like you around will be a bad influence on my baby. I took the liberty of tossing all your stuff in the garbage, so never come back to the house. Your mom is super mad at you right now. Huh?
Listen up, Sarah. I've got something to say to you, and you're gonna listen. How long have you been living like this? Never, not even in my wildest dreams, did I think I would get here and find out that you're unemployed and just sitting around playing with your computer all day. I won't stand for this. You need to go outside and get yourself a job right now. I won't let you just stay in your room all day as long as I'm here.
Huh?
I came here specifically in order to be able to spend the rest of my pregnancy in peace and quiet. How am I supposed to do that with you around all the time? You're gonna ruin everything. I bet you planned all of this, didn't you? I feel so sorry for my brother having to deal with you. To think, his own wife waited until he was out of town on business to quit her job and start mooching off of him like a freaking parasite.
How many times do I have to explain this to you, Suzie? I am not unemployed. I did not quit my job. We've been through this before. And I am not just playing with my computer all day. I am working. I've been working from home for a while now. Again, I've told you all of this before.
Oh, trust me, I remember that pathetic excuse. I didn't believe it then, and I don't believe it now. There's no way a company in this podunk little town would let you work from home. They probably don't even know how to use the internet out here. It's nothing but a bunch of hicks. And you're using the fact that mom doesn't know anything about computers to trick her into supporting you.
Ugh, I am not in the mood for this right now.
When I first heard that you were quitting your job in the city and moving out here to live with mom, I was happy. Mom hurt her back recently, and she's been having a pretty rough time of things living on her own. I was glad that you were going to be around to help her. I thought, gee, isn't it great that my brother married such a kind, caring woman? But now that I know what you were really trying to do, I am absolutely disgusted. You make me sick, Sarah.
Suzie, please, for the millionth time, that's not what this is. Your brother and I genuinely did decide to move in here so we could be there for your mom to help her out when she needed it. At first, I was going to quit my job in the city and find a new job in a company closer to our house here. But my company wanted to find some way for me to stay with them, and they agreed to allow me to work from home on a permanent basis.
Permanent? Yeah, right.
Yeah, it is right. Anyways, thanks to that, I was able to keep my old job and move out here. Your mom was thrilled when I told her the good news too. Since I'm home all day, I'll be able to help her out if she falls or needs help with anything. I understand why you doubt that story. It sounds almost too good to be true.
It is too good to be true because you made it all up. And just so you don't get too cocky, you should know that I have hard evidence that you're lying about having a job. So you might have fooled my kind and trusting mother, and maybe even my brother, but you will never, ever fool me. I see right through you.
Evidence? What do you mean, evidence? I don't see how you could have evidence. I'm unemployed since, well, I am unemployed. What's your evidence, Suzie? Let's have it.
You want to see my evidence? Fine. I have a first-hand account from a close, trustworthy friend of mine that you're unemployed.
We went out to lunch a while back to catch up, and she told me some very interesting information. She said that she sees you hanging around the park near City Hall all the time.
Not only that, she sees you walking around late at night a bunch too. You've got enough free time on your hands to be strolling around the park all day and night. Then you're definitely unemployed.
What? That's your evidence? That's all? That's just you jumping to conclusions. I go for walks in the park during the day. That's literally all that is. Being in the house working all day makes me feel kind of claustrophobic. After several hours, I start to lose focus and get cramps in my legs and back. So I've been taking about an hour-long walk every day around lunchtime to get some fresh air and stretch my legs a bit. So that's why your friend sees me in the park every day. Do you understand now?
Oh yeah, I understand everything perfectly. I understand that you're definitely unemployed. You mean to tell me your company lets you take an hour-long break in addition to your lunch break? Nice try. But you should have come up with a better cover story than that. You're a bad liar, Sarah.
My company told me that they didn't mind if I work an irregular schedule, as long as I get all my work done every day. I can work whatever hours I want. Plus, I start my work an hour earlier than most of the company's employees do to make sure I have enough time for my walks. It's a great place to work. They have a very modern view on work-life balance and are very flexible with things like hours and breaks.
Wow. You already made up another lie to cover up the gaps in your last one? You do work fast. But you forgot one thing. What about your walks late at night, huh? You got a cover story for them too? Well, let's hear your explanation, Sarah. What's so important that you're fine with abandoning my mom at home so you can go out on the town? Wasn't that the entire point of you moving in with my mom?
Okay, that's just an exaggeration. I'm not going out every night. Only about once a week or so, that's all. I just go out to the convenience store down the road to pick up a drink or a snack or something. And for the record, your mother is the one who sends me out some of the time to get her a snack.
What? My mom wants you to go out and drink like a college girl every weekend?
I'll let that college girl jab go for the time being. Yes, she does encourage me to go out occasionally. With Roy out of town on business for the month, it's just me and your mom all day, every day. She feels guilty about that. She's always telling me how sorry she is that I'm stuck hanging out with my mother-in-law all the time. So yeah, she sends me to the store to pick something up for her. But it's actually just an excuse to let me get out of the house. But I always make sure to be back before 9 p.m. so she won't be alone.
Wow, you are really good at making up lies as you go. You are desperate to avoid having to admit that you're an unemployed loser.
Come on, Suzie. Really? After all that, you still don't believe me?
Listen, Sarah, I'm gonna be here for a while, even after the baby is born. And while I'm here, I will not allow you to be slacking off around the house all the time.
Wait, even after the baby is born? I thought you were going to go back home once the doctors cleared you.
I was thinking I might stick around a while longer, say like 2 years or so.
2 years?
So you see, I can't have an unemployed loser around my child. You'll be a bad influence on them. Now, go and get the newspaper, flip to the Help Wanted ads, pick one of them, any one of them, and apply now. I don't care what my mom and brother will tolerate out of you. I'm much less forgiving than them.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Since that should be clear, I'm taking off. I'm going to meet up with a friend for lunch. By the time I get back, I expect you to have made no fewer than 5 applications. Got that?
Hey there, Mom. I'm sorry to call you while you're out shopping. Do you have a moment? I need to talk to you.
Hello there, Sarah. I just sat down in a cafe to have a bit of coffee before coming home. What is it, dear? Is there something wrong?
Well, kind of. It's about Suzie. Is it true that she's going to be living with us for a long time after the baby is born? I was just talking to her now, and she says she's planning to stay here for 2 years.
What? 2 years? Is that what she told you?
Uh-oh, from the sound of things, that's news to you too.
It's the first I've heard of it, yes. That girl won't tell me anything even when I ask. She did say something about feeling like just being here for 2 months wasn't going to be enough. When I think about it, that does sound like she was intending to stay here for quite some time. But she's never given me any specific time frame for when she'll be moving back home. But I can't believe it. She's intending to stay with us for 2 whole years?
Yeah, that's way too long, I know. I feel so sorry for her husband. Does he know what her plans are? I wonder. He's got to be feeling terribly lonely right now.
About that. The truth is, Suzie and her husband have divorced.
What? Really?
Yes, and I don't know any of the details, just that they're divorced now. She didn't tell me what happened between them, just that they're divorced. She said she's receiving alimony from him and not to worry about anything. But I'm still worried. How could I not be? And I can't have her living here for 2 years. You feel the same way, don't you, Sarah?
Yeah, I'm against it. I'm working from home, and having her here for that long might create problems with that. Also, what's really bizarre is that Suzie is totally convinced that I'm unemployed.
What? Doesn't she know that you're working from home?
I tried to tell her, but she wouldn't believe me. No matter what I said, she just brushed it off as an excuse. She says that she doesn't want me to have a negative impact on the baby, and that I should look for work right away.
What on earth is wrong with that child? I'm so terribly sorry you had to deal with all of that, Sarah. I'll try talking to her about it myself once I get home. I'll also need to have a talk with her about how long she'll be staying with us. 2 years is just too long. So don't worry about a thing, Sarah. I'll take care of everything. That's it. You are getting out of the house today. I can't believe you'd stoop so low as to turn my own mother against me with your lies. How did you convince her your ridiculous story was true, huh? Are you threatening her?
Threatening her? That's nonsense. I would never threaten her.
Oh yeah? Well then, explain why my mom is kicking me out of the house instead of you. There's no way she'd do that unless you were threatening her into doing it.
Whoa, she's kicking you out?
She came to me all in a huff this morning. She was trying so hard to get me to believe your lies about working from home. Oh, and she even backed up your lie about her telling you to go out and get plastered every night. Just how shameless can you be? So I was left with no other choice but to tell her the truth about you. I told her that you were a liar and that you were just using her so you could slack off at home all day and not have to work. I was expecting her to get mad at you, but no! She got mad at me instead. She said that if I was going to talk about you like that, then I'm no longer welcome here. She tried to throw me out of the house.
Wow, I can't believe it. Your mom was willing to go that far to stick up for me. I'm so touched.
Oh, I'm so glad for you that your little scheme is succeeding. But I knew I had to find some way to prove to get her to see that you were lying. So I went into your room.
You went into my room?
Fortunately for me, you were on one of your little walks at the time, haha, and I found something really, really shocking. There was absolutely nothing in that room but one single computer. And when I turned on the screen, you were in the middle of watching a movie on Netflix. Is that what you call work, Sarah? Watching movies? I found you out. I knew you were nothing but an unemployed loser.
But I don't use that computer for my work. I use my laptop, which I happen to be holding right here in my backpack at the moment. I thought I'd treat myself to a nice, relaxing day of working at a local cafe.
Are you kidding me? Give it up already! I have all the evidence I could ever need to prove that you're lying about working from home, and you're still making up more lies?
I'm telling the truth, though.
Admit it, you're unemployed. You're taking advantage of my brother being out of town on business and lying and threatening my mother into compliance. You quit your job so you could mooch off my mother and brother for the rest of your life.
No, I didn't. Please, Suzie, would you just listen to me?
I don't want to hear any more of your lies, Sarah. I don't ever want to see your face again either. You are no longer welcome in this house. Don't worry, I did you the favor of packing up all your things. You'll find them all neatly stuffed into the dumpster out in front of the house. You don't need to thank me. I was glad to do it.
You what? You threw away my stuff?
That's right. And just so your old room doesn't go to waste, I've already moved my stuff in. You didn't deserve this room anyway. It's the biggest one in the house.
I don't believe it. You're completely insane, Suzie. What is wrong with you?
Nothing's wrong with me. Unlike you, I'm contributing to society by raising my child in a healthy environment. Having an unemployed loser like you around would damage me and my baby's emotional health.
Your mother is furious, you know.
Huh?
I've never seen her this angry before in all the time I've known her. Geez, I would have been terrified to disobey her if she were my mother. I wish you could see her face right now. It's incredible.
What? Wait, that's impossible. My mom isn't with you. She was just at the house not too long ago. We were talking for a long time about all the reasons she should kick you out.
Yeah, and she saw you force my door open right after you finished your mindless ranting. After that, she came to me right away to tell me what happened. She said she tried to get through to you, but you wouldn't listen to her. And also that she has no idea what sort of nonsense you were going to pull next, so I should probably stay at a hotel or something tonight. She seemed serious about it too.
She told you that?
Yeah, apparently, she didn't know what you were doing with my stuff. All she knew was that you had totally lost your mind. It's actually kind of a relief that you messaged me like you did just now. I was terrified not knowing what was going on, but now everything has become much clearer. Seriously, Suzie, you thought it would be a good idea to throw away the belongings of the household's breadwinner? It makes total sense why she'd be as angry at you as she is right now.
Wait, just 1 second, Sarah. You're not the breadwinner. You're unemployed. The only bread you could win is whatever they serve down at the homeless shelter.
You're still going on about that, I see.
And another thing, there's no way my mom's that angry at me. If anything, she's probably super grateful to me.
And why would that be?
My mom's way too nice for her own good. She could never stand up to you by herself. But I know that she wanted you out of the house just as much as I did. I bet it was tearing her apart having a deadbeat like you for a daughter-in-law. She was only putting up with you because she was desperate for help around the house, and you were her only option. I'm sure that right now my mom is crying tears of joy, thanking me for having the guts to call you out. I'm crying tears of rage, you impotent little fiend. You are going to repay Sarah for every single thing of hers that you destroyed, and you are to be out of my house by the end of the day. Wait, Mom, is that you? I've had more than I can stand from you, Suzie. Pack your things and get out immediately. I will never allow you into my house from this day forth. Don't ever show your face around here again. Mom, come on! You don't have to pretend. You can tell Sarah exactly how you feel about her. I'm here for you. I know you're grateful to me for kicking her out of the house for you. You can admit it. I bet you're so relieved that I threw out all of her stuff already, too. Hold your foul tongue, Suzie. How can you say those vile things about Sarah after all that she's done for us? You ungrateful little wretch. I meant what I said. I want you out of my house. Pack your things and go, now. But why? I got rid of her for you. You should be happy. She was just leeching off of you and Roy. For the final time, Suzie, Sarah is not unemployed. She's working from home, just like she told you. I know that for a fact because her company's representatives have stopped by the house personally on multiple occasions. They send gifts too. You know that box of sweets you ate by yourself? That was a gift from her company. It was. Also, she allows me to use her annual employee discount at the spa resort in the next town over. Imagine that. Sarah could take a day for herself to relax, but she gives it to me instead. She's such a thoughtful girl. So tell me, Suzie, what do you say now? Will you still insist that Sarah is unemployed, even after all of that? So, you mean she was telling the truth? She's working from home, and she's not just slacking off all day? Yes, and despite that, you've been berating her as being unemployed all this time. How dare you try and kick her out of my house? Okay, well, hear me out, Mom. Let's just say, for the sake of the discussion, that Sarah really is working from home. There's no way she can be making that much money. I mean, if they're letting her do it from home, her job can't be that important. Sure, she might not be unemployed, but she probably makes so little that she might as well be. Even if she does have a job, you don't need someone like her around. I was right to kick her out of the house. I see you're bound and determined to get Sarah out of the picture. You're anxious to stretch your legs in her spacious room, aren't you? But it's too bad for you, Suzie. I'll have you know, her income last year was over $500,000. So you'll have to find another excuse. What? $500,000? No way, that's not possible! How could some average nobody like her earn a salary like that? It's not just from her salary. She has multiple streams of income. They all added up to $500,000 last year. That's ridiculous. She makes plenty of money from her salary alone, though she's a quite high-ranking person in her company. I think her salary there is around $200,000. And she was prepared to give that up to live with me. That girl is one of the most generous, caring people I've ever met. I don't believe it. Sarah's making that much? She had quite the savings built up from when she was single, so she decided to make use of it once she came over here. She started up a cafe and also began investing in real estate. And all of her ventures are going quite well. That's how she made so much money last year. No way. I still don't believe it. That's just not possible. It's a bit hard to believe, I know. But despite how much she earns, she spends almost nothing on herself. She probably spends more on gifts for me than she does on any of her hobbies or interests. Wow. A little while ago, she bought me this incredibly high-end supplement that's supposed to be good for back pain. She even had a corset order-made for me from an extremely high-end designer. And get this, she's told me she's concerned that the layout of the house makes it difficult for me to get around, so she's going to build us a brand new house next year. She is? She's a better daughter-in-law than I ever could have hoped for. In spite of her extraordinary wealth, she doesn't act like she's wealthy at all. Frankly, I see her as a true daughter of mine, not just a daughter-in-law. And you tried to throw such a special person out of my house. I will not allow you to do that. But Mom! I want you out of the house today. You can take care of your baby by yourself. I won't be around to help you at all. You can't do that. She's not your daughter. I am. Aren't I more important to you than her? You're really going to kick me out of the house? Let me ask you this, Suzie. Do you think you can fill her shoes? Do you think you can be the kind of daughter for me that Sarah is? Can you spend $500,000 in cash to rebuild my house for me? Of course I can't. That's an insane amount of money. No, I don't imagine you could. After all, you cheated on your husband and got pregnant as a result. And on top of that, the father skipped town to avoid having to pay you child support. You would have a hard time building a brand new house when you can barely even afford ordinary living expenses. What? Wait, hold on. I don't get it. How do you know about all of that, Mom? Who told you that? I know for sure it wasn't me. All I ever told you was that I got divorced. I deliberately withheld the details. I heard about it all from a friend of yours. What else was I supposed to do? No matter how many times I asked you, you would never tell me one single solitary thing about what happened between you and your husband. Someone told you? Oh no, I can't believe it. This is the worst. You were never supposed to find out. I thought it was strange that you were going out to cafes and restaurants and bars with your friends, despite being so late in your pregnancy. It gave me the idea that surely you must have told one of your friends about why you got divorced. So I just started going to your friends one person at a time and asking them if they knew anything at all about what happened. And eventually I struck gold, so to speak. You mean one of my friends, or at least someone I thought was my friend, went and spilled the beans to you? Come on! Who was it? Tell me who you told. I'm gonna destroy them for betraying me like that. Everyone who knew about what happened between me and my husband knew that I did not want you to ever find out, no matter what. Oh, come now, don't give your friends such a hard time. It isn't their fault. After all, who could turn down an offer for $2,000 to divulge a friend's dirty little secret to their mother? I have to hand it to them. They were pretty tight-lipped about it at first. Once I started putting $100 bills on the table, they were much more willing to share what they knew, though. Oh my. I think that actually makes me feel even worse about them betraying me. Just telling my mom is one thing, but doing it for money? I think I'm gonna be sick. Yes, and it was all thanks to a very generous contribution to my efforts by none other than Sarah. She's the one who gave me the money to buy your friends off with. There are some stones in life that must be overturned, no matter the cost. And in this case, I'd say a measly $2,000 was more than worth it to know everything that I do now. To be honest with you, it was actually invigorating. I felt like a detective in one of those old detective movies your father used to watch back before he passed. I haven't felt this young in years. Oh, well, I'm super happy that you enjoyed paying my friends to betray me. And now, I'd like you to go and start packing your things immediately. I never thought in my wildest dreams I would someday feel this ashamed just to be your mother. You treated Sarah awfully when she's been nothing but wonderful, loving, and caring to me. You called her unemployed. You called her a parasite. And you betrayed your own husband, slept with another man, and got pregnant with that man's child. Your life is nothing but a series of scandals. I will not have such a scandalous person living in my house. Neither you or that baby of yours are welcome. I want you and all of your things to be out of that house by the time we get home. Do I make myself clear? Sarah, are you there? You've got to help me. Look, I'm super duper sorry for everything I said to you, okay? Now you've got to do something about your mom. Please, Sarah, there's no one else I can go to. You're the only person in the world that I can count on. I'll do whatever you want me to do to make it up to you, so please talk to my mom into letting me live with you guys. Oh, and if it isn't too much trouble, could you add a room for me into the floor plan for the new house you're building? My own personal bathroom would be nice too.
I have never heard such a brazenly self-centered apology as that in my life, and I doubt I'll ever hear one again.
Look, this is just kind of how I am. I'm stubborn when I get my mind set on something. I never give up. I can't help it. But now I see how wrong I was, as well as what an amazing person you are, Sarah. You really are an incredible woman. To think a woman could succeed like you have in both her career and her personal life. You're an inspiration to women everywhere. I am so proud to have someone like you as my sister-in-law. So, please, have mercy on me. I'm asking you this as your sister, Sarah. Help me. I mean, you know how expensive raising children can be, don't you? And you've got plenty of extra money lying around. You could spot me a few G's with no problem.
You're right, Suzie. I could definitely afford to give you some money to put towards taking care of your baby. I'm making plenty as it is, and I have a lot of money in savings too. But the reason that I've been able to build up that money for myself is because I follow one very, very important rule when it comes to money.
Rule? What's your rule?
Simple. Don't waste money, ever. And unfortunately, I'm afraid that rule will prevent me from giving you any financial assistance at all, Suzie. Any money I gave you would be wasted for sure. I can't allow any of my hard-earned money to go to you knowing that you'd end up wasting it, needing more before too long.
What? Come on, you cheapskate! You don't have any problem shelling out money for my mom. I heard you're building her a $500,000 house next year. So if you can give her that much money, why can't you give me anything?
Because you're right. I am a cheapskate. I'm a massive cheapskate, actually, and I think that being around a cheapskate like myself would be terrible for your baby's emotional development. So it would be for the best if you went and found your own place to live from now on.
No.
Yes, it's not just me saying that. Your mom feels the exact same way I do. As a matter of fact, she's probably even more opposed to me helping you than I am. And with that, it's finally time for us to say our goodbyes, Suzie. Maybe you could get the father of your baby to help you out now, if you can find him, that is. Immediately after that, Suzie set out on the warpath. She was determined to find out which one of her friends had sold out the details of her divorce to her mom for $2,000. So she started going to her friends one at a time and reaming each one of them out. She just couldn't help herself though, so she always followed up her tirades by saying, "The only way I'll ever forgive you is if you let me live with you and give me money to support my baby with." I guess her friends thought the deal wasn't worth it, so they decided they were fine with her never forgiving them. Not one single person offered to let her stay with them. However, this wasn't the end of the road for Suzie. Somehow, she managed to track down the guy she had cheated on her husband with. He generously agreed to allow her to stay with and said that he'd support her financially as much as he could. However, it turns out that however much he could wasn't very much. In fact, it was practically zero because, irony of irony, he was unemployed. This left Suzie with no choice but to find some way to make money working from home. She's getting by, but only barely. After all, she has 3 mouths to feed now. Herself, her baby, and her baby's daddy.
Thank you for watching all the way until the end. If you felt good after watching this video, please like the video. If not, please leave a comment and give us your feedback. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Your comments and likes help this channel grow. We hope you enjoy our other stories as well.
Hey!
What?
What do you mean, what? The shower! I told you not to go in before me.
Then you should have come home sooner.
I'm busy being a teenager.
Well, I'm busy being a worker.
Yeah, a busy low-class worker who never even went to college.
I'm busy because I work at the so-called low-class company.
Don't become defiant. That's why Mom and Dad never loved you. They wouldn't even let you go to college.
Uh-huh.
But still, you still have to be grateful that they let you finish high school.
I guess so.
Even though the only reason they did that was because they were too embarrassed if you flunked out.
Yeah.
Stop half-assing your reply. Don't you get depressed in living?
No, I have all the necessary things I need to survive.
That's because you haven't moved out. Mom and Dad don't want you here.
Oh, really?
Don't flatter yourself. You aren't needed in this house.
Well, that may be so.
If you know that, then hurry up and move out.
Not until I save up some money.
Yeah, like you can do that with your job.
Is that all? I'm going now.
Wait up! Never used to shower before me. If you need to, use only cold water. Someone who can't work a normal job like yourself shouldn't have the luxury to use warm water.
There's enough to go around.
I don't like being second-handed.
Fine, fine.
I won't go in a shower before you.
As you should have done in the first place. Seriously, get the fuck out of that house. Uh-huh.
You should be worshipping us for letting you stay here.
Okay, whatever. Good night.
Don't think I'll reply back, you a good night.
You already did, lol.
This doesn't count. It's stuff like that that makes everyone hate you. I heard about it. You got caught shoplifting.
Yeah, I didn't do it.
But did you put it in your bag?
You seem to know a lot.
Mom told me.
Huh.
Oh God, it's so hard living with a criminal in the family.
Like I said, I didn't do it.
That denial got the cops calling Mom out, didn't it? Poor Mom.
Someone framed me.
What's that? An excuse?
It's the truth.
Did they catch it on security camera or something?
The angle wasn't right, so no, it wasn't taped.
Then you're still the culprit. You put it in your bag yourself. Stealing makeup from CVS, like seriously.
I said I didn't do it.
Mom and Dad were so pissed. They won't put up with a criminal in the house. Your days are numbered.
You can say that all you want, I still didn't do it. That's for a fact.
There's nothing you can do about it since nobody believes you.
Maybe so. I might just do that.
Wait, really? Oh my God, I'm so happy right now. Get the F out. Oh, and Mom sent a text on the family group chat.
That actually exists?
Yeah, we didn't include you because you aren't family. Sad much?
Not at all.
Oh, come on. The hell you are. Mom says she's kicking you out of their house.
Is that so?
She wants you gone by the end of the week. I'm giving you heads up.
Okay.
Get out, get the fuck out of the house.
I'll pack up my things and be gone.
Finally, I can have the peace with the dreariness gone. I can't wait for the day. Get out as soon as you can, will you?
Right.
Hey, criminal, you out of the house yet?
I'm long gone from that house.
Really? Great. What a miracle you found a place to crash.
I moved into Grandma's house. It's close to my workplace.
What? Grandma's? How could you do this to her?
She said she didn't mind me moving in with her. I won't be staying too long, just until I can save up to get a place on my own.
Move out this instant. Think of how much Grandma has to endure.
Still a better atmosphere than back home.
Cut it out. Grandma's so charitable to take upon a criminal.
About that, you seem to know something.
What?
When I got caught shoplifting, allegedly. It's coming back to me now. There was this kid hovering near me who wore the same uniform as you.
So?
You made him do it?
I don't know what you're talking about.
If you say so.
Wait, so you think I'm behind it? How can you suspect your baby sister?
That baby sister doesn't believe me when I tell her I'm innocent. I'll say it's justified.
No, it is not. You did get caught stealing. That's the truth.
You won't believe me no matter what I say.
But can you save up money? You got kicked out because you couldn't find it in the first place.
I'll be okay from now on.
The hell? You found a sugar daddy or something? With your face? No way.
Highly unlikely.
I knew it.
You're prettier than me anyways. Are we done with this conversation?
Yeah, I don't have anything to say to you. I'm so happy I get to live comfortably starting today.
I expect that we won't be seeing each other often, so this is goodbye.
Have a nice life.
What do you want?
What the hell is going on?
Huh?
Don't play dumb with me. Dad told me we don't have any money.
I don't comprehend.
We're broke.
And that concerns me how? Did the stuff extra change in a drawer or something?
No, there's nothing left in their bank accounts. You stole the money, didn't you?
How exactly would I do that, lol?
You stole the access card or something.
I wouldn't do that.
Easy for you to say. You have a criminal offense in stealing.
You still remembered that.
Of course I did. So, did you?
I haven't got the slightest idea. Although...
What?
I can tell you. But why are you the one complaining about being broke? Tell them to cut costs and be on with it.
They expect me to get a job and put money to the house.
Why don't you do that then? You're eligible. It'll be a good experience.
No way.
Why not?
I can't sacrifice my precious teenage years to labor. If I start working, I won't have time out to hang with my friends or go on dates with my boyfriend. What would my minions think of me? I have to stay at the top of the pyramid.
Your pride got to the best of you.
I just can't work. If you know the reason why we have no money, spill it.
I would, but in one condition.
What?
Do you really have nothing to do with my alleged shoplifting case?
The hell do you mean by that?
Answer me. If you'll be honest with me, I'll consider telling you the truth.
Well, I did tell my boyfriend's friend to do it.
I knew it! Why did you do that?
Because I wanted a reason to get you out of that goddamn house.
You hated me that much?
Yes, still do.
Okay then, it'll be no use to you learning the truth.
The fuck? I confessed, so it's your turn.
I said I'll consider it, dumbass lol.
You tricked me.
You only thought about yourself, and besides, can't you guess from your life you had before?
What do you mean by that?
Even if both mom and dad were working, they couldn't afford to give you monthly allowances that costs up to $200.
Uh-huh. I need money to keep myself presentable. That's why I got my allowances.
Don't you wonder where that money came from?
From mom and dad's salaries, of course.
Are you really that thick?
What are you saying?
Didn't you think a little about the money when you were working so hard to kick me out of the house?
I thought the expenses that were spent on you would come to me naturally.
Oh, you really are dumb.
What?
I told you about how I had a hard time saving up.
So?
Don't you ever wonder why?
That's because you didn't get a higher education and landed in a boring job that probably doesn't pay overtime.
You really don't give a thought about me.
I don't want to waste my thoughts on you.
I don't work at a boring job.
Huh?
It's not a low-class company either.
The hell?
You don't even know which school I went to, don't you?
I go to an elitist private school. I don't give a fuck what school you went to.
You may not know this, but I went to a technical high school.
So what? What's got to do with anything?
They have a guarantee for workers post-graduating. And as I was a straight A student, if I say so myself, there were some good companies lining up that were happy to hire a tech high school graduate.
So? No good company would hire you?
I currently work for a big energy company. You know, lol.
Uh-huh.
The phone you're charging, the electricity in your room, are all thanks to my workplace.
What the?
There are days when I'm on duty so I can't come home, but even you would know which electricity company you're using from, lol.
So you're an elite?
I wouldn't call myself that. Everybody knows the name of the company at least.
But Mom said your workplace got shabby a few years back when the company became subsidiary.
It's called emboldening. My team works upon utility poles, or called out on emergency blackouts. They only took out the one team as a subsidiary.
The what?
In a nutshell, the retail business stayed, and the electricity makers went independent, passed on a national bill.
So it's not a low-class company?
Not in my case.
But what's got to do with us being broke?
Don't you get it?
No, I don't.
I've been putting money into that house all this time. Most of what I made, in fact.
Huh? What?
It wasn't even high at the time. But I put enough through Mom's account, so I wasn't able to save up for myself.
Which means the reason we don't have money anymore is...
Because I stopped transferring the money, lol.
The hell? Why did you stop?
I moved out of the house. There's no reason for me to put money in it anymore.
Yes, there is.
What, lol? Don't be silly.
Shut up. You could have continued sending the money.
I already did all these years, and by the time I moved out, I thought Mom and Dad would have saved some. I don't want to stay a slave to them forever, lol.
I can't believe this. That's why we're broke.
Think so? I don't really care.
How can this be?
If they considered to cut your allowance and save up, things might have been different.
Teenagers need the money.
I didn't. That geek put a roof over your head.
Unlike you, I have a lot of things to do as a popular girl.
I also was busy getting tech qualifications and certificates. And even with that, I worked part-time and put money into that house.
Shut up!
Why don't you get a job for fuck's sake, lol?
God, no.
How about cutting expenses then?
I can't do that.
Well then, think that it's your parents that are wasting all the money.
What?
Of course there's no question you're high maintenance, but maybe they do so as well.
Oh no.
Like, for example, how Mom loves to buy designer handbags, and how Dad loves to gamble. This is all my imagination, lol.
Are those true?
Who knows? They both have normal jobs, so that should be able to sustain. Unless, you know. But if they're asking you to work, there must be a reason behind it.
We don't know that.
You can ask them yourself. There's no use wasting time in guessing games.
Right, I'm going to ask them now. I can't believe this.
How'd it go?
They've started fighting.
So they did have skeletons hiding in the closet.
This is awful.
Is it that bad?
Hear this. Mom had been a sugar mama to some guy and Dad's been seeing a hooker.
God, lol. That is bad, lol.
They're starting to look like scum.
Yeah, might be hard for a girl your age.
I really can't. I'm crying.
So they were using my money on nefarious intents.
Aren't you shocked?
I've been working in a place filled with dudes. I've been living longer than you to experience those things. I don't know how Mom got into the sugar business, but with Dad, I kinda always known.
It was the guy who came up to Mom.
Lame, lol.
I don't want to be here anymore. They're shouting at each other.
Huh?
Can I come over?
Over where?
To Grandma's house.
You could, but I'm not there anymore.
What?
I managed to save up when I was staying there. I moved out a while ago.
Then she must be delighted to have me as a companion.
Nah, Grandma's a strict person. She wouldn't have freeloaders.
So in any case, I have to start working?
Guess so, lol.
I can't. Do something about it.
What can I do for you, lol?
Let me stay with you.
The fuck? Did you already forget what you said earlier?
Huh?
You said you still hated me.
Well, yeah, but I can't be in the same house with them screaming at each other. But I don't want to work either.
Brat, you were the one that got me kicked out of that house. Even framed me for stealing. How much lower can you go, lol?
That's because your existence was a pain in the ass.
Then don't expect moral support from that pain in the ass, lol.
I can't deal with this.
It's all your own fault. If you hadn't kicked me out, Mom and Dad wouldn't have fought, and you'd had all the money you could spend.
Damn it!
Give up and go get a job.
No way!
Denial won't get you anywhere. I'm not going to be sparing my time for you anymore.
Wait, at least give me what's left over from your salary.
There's nothing left over, lol. Leeching off of someone you hate. Really, you've gone low. Haven't you had any pride left?
That pride is why I can't work.
Some pride, lol.
Shut up and give me the money!
Hell no, lol. My slave days are over.
Ah, you bitch!
Right back at you. I'm not getting involved any further. Work it out by your own.
Don't you feel sorry for your sister?
Lol, why would I? She hates my guts. Bye, biatch. My parents got divorced in the end. My sister ended up at grandma's, started working in an effort not to get kicked out. She couldn't make time for her friends or her boyfriend, so she's currently friendless and her social status went to the ground. Doesn't matter, I'm gonna make money for myself and myself only from now on.
Thank you for watching all the way until the end. If you felt good after watching this video, please like the video. If not, please leave a comment and give us your feedback. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Your comments and likes help this channel grow. We hope you enjoy our other stories as well.